Hello, wonderful educators. Today, we're diving into the classroom observation process to help you understand exactly what to expect, how to prepare, and how your evaluation works. Let's break it down step by step so you feel confident and ready. These are the table of content in this video. 1. Overview of observation process 0. S2. How to choose your skills. 3. Understanding the scoring system. 4. Printing the observation forms. 5. What feedback looks like. So all teachers and observers, let's begin with the overview of the observation process. Our observation has two key parts. The first part is teaching performance observation. The second part is skill F-based observation. You can see the file and also the picture right here in the video. Alright, let's dive deep down on teaching performance part. This is always evaluated and covers 4 areas. The first is lesson planning. Are your objectives clear? Is your lesson flexible and skill-focused? The second is classroom management. How do you engage students, monitor progress, and create an inclusive environment? The third is teaching materials. Are your resources organized, level appropriate, and effective? The fourth is professionalism. Your enthusiasm, respect for students, and communication style. The total score of this first part is 34. Now, let's talk about the skills-based focus. This is where you take the lead. Teacher can choose 1 to 2 skills based on the observation schedule with their VP, from listening, speaking, reading, writing, vocabulary, or grammar. Teacher has to align them with your lesson, like you pick skills that match your lesson's goals. Key to note that each skill has a different maximum score based on its complexity. For example, let's take a look at listening skill, which is worth 18 points, since it involves scaffolding, strategies, and integration. While speaking is only 10 points, focused on fluency, feedback, and real-life tasks. Your VP will assess only the skills you teach, not all the skills. Here's the calculation of teacher who teaches reading lesson. Step 1. Add the raw scores. The teacher gets 28 out of 34 in teaching performance, and in teaching reading skill, the teacher gets 10 out of 12. Then we need to calculate total raw score, which is equals 28 in teaching plus 10 in reading equals 38 points. Step 2. Calculate the total possible score, or the full score. First full score of teaching performance is 34 points and reading skill is 12 points. Therefore, the total possible score equals 34 plus 12 is equal to 46 points. Step 3. Calculate the percentage. This is the formula. In order to get the percentage equals, we need to take total raw score divided by total possible score, then times 100. So now let's see the calculation of the percentage. We need to take the total raw score of 38 divided by the total possible score of 46, then times 100 is almost equal to 82.6%. Result, overall observation score equals 82.6%. Well, let's take a look at another example. Why I mentioned that you don't have to worry about what skill that you teach because it's based on averaging calculation. If you teach listening skill, which has 18 points of total possible score, and you get 15 points out of 18, and you get teaching performance scores 28 points out of the total possible score 34. So your raw score equals 28 plus 15 is equal to 43 out of 52, 34 plus 18. To calculate your percentage, 43 divided by 52 times 100 is equal to 82.6%. As a result, you get 82.6%. You may wonder about the percentage calculation of teaching 2 skills for the classroom observation. Here's the calculation for 2 skills, listening and speaking, combined with teaching performance. Step 1. Add the raw scores. The teacher gets 28 out of 34 in teaching performance observation part, and the teacher's skill-based observation score is 15 out of 18 in listening skill and 8 out of 10 in teaching speaking skill. So total raw score equals 28 in teaching performance plus 15 in listening skill plus 8 in speaking skill equals 51 points. Step 2. Calculate the total possible score. Teaching performance equals 34 points, and the total possible score of listening skill equals 18 points and speaking skill equals 10 points. In order to calculate total possible score, we take 34 plus 18 plus 10 is equal to 62 points. Step 3. Calculate the percentage sad face total raw score divided by total possible score times 100. So we take 51 divided by 62 times 100 almost equals 82.3%. Final result. Overall observation score equals 82.3%. Now let's see about how to interpret the scoring system. For every item, your observer will mark one of 4 ratings. These are the score descriptions in each criteria. Teacher will get 2 points when the teacher meets all requirements, 1 point when the teacher meets some requirements, 0 point when the teacher does not meet any of the requirements. There is also an option for not applicable. So if you are teaching about Asian food vocabulary, you need visual aids to teach your students. If the criterion says, the teacher uses visual aids, and you've prepared engaging, level-appropriate charts or slides, you'll get a 2 because you meet all requirements. However, if your visual aids are disorganized or as blurred like in this picture here, you will get only 1, because you've partially met the criterion, but there's room to grow. However, you will get 0 for this visual aid criteria because you do not meet requirements. It means the criterion wasn't addressed in the lesson. Example: if no visual aids were used, and they were required, this would be 0 point. In some cases, there are also options for not applicable when the criterion doesn't apply to your lesson or context. Example: if the lesson focuses on listening and the criterion asks about visual aids, but you intentionally didn't use them, e.g., to focus on auditory skills, your VP will mark not applicable. Therefore, you don't have to worry about not applicable, because there is no penalty. It just means the criterion wasn't relevant. Now let's go to explanation of printing the observation forms. This mainly important part for observer. Observer needs to print only the pages relevant to the observation, such as page 1 that include general information plus teaching performance sections, and skill pages that include 1 or 2 skills that teacher teaches in the teaching observation, for example, speaking and grammar. So in total, only 2 or 3 pages are printed out. Alright, now let's go to the last part of the video about what feedback looks like. So after your observation, your observer will provide constructive comments to celebrate strengths and suggest growth areas. These include positive reinforcement, suggestions for improvement, encouragement for professional growth, highlighting strengths, constructive criticism, and last but not least, actionable feedback. I want teacher to keep in mind that this feedback reflects one lesson, not your entire teaching practice. It's a tool to help you grow, not a judgment. So, are you ready to rock your observation? We're cheering you on. Remember that observations can be nerve-wracking, but they're about support, not criticism.